All right, guys, we're almost done. So today we're going to be reading the Denouement, which is basically kind of like the ending. It's something that wraps everything up. Okay, it's that one final piece that brings everything together. So remember, Peak just got done, again, spoilers, just got done saying goodbye to Zopa at the airport, and he's on his way back to New York. He kind of a little bit he made his peace with Josh and kind of understands, he knows who Josh is now. He knows he kind of, Josh is what he is, and he's probably not going to change, and so Peaks kind of made his peace with that, but he's ready to go home to his family. All right. It took 24 hours to get to New York, but because I crossed the international date line going west, I got there only a few hours after I left Kathmandu. So what that means is, you know how there's different time zones? Well, if you travel a certain direction, it's like going back in time because the time changes. So like if you fly back to different time zones, you're gonna change time. Okay, so like if you're flying to a different time zone and it goes back, so if it's 5 o'clock here and you fly somewhere, maybe it's 4 o'clock there. It's not really time traveling, but because of the clocks, it's a little funky. I grabbed a cab and nervously fidgeted as the driver fought the heavy traffic into the city, hoping that I wouldn't be too late. When he pulled up in front of our building, I gave him a fistful of cash without even counting it. I took the elevator to the loft. I heard the party before I saw it. Rolf knew how to throw a party. Mom and I were a little weak in that area. There would be no less than 75 people in the loft. Parents and their kids, teachers from GSS, neighbors, people from Mom's bookstore, lawyers from Rolf's office. Last year for entertainment, Rolf had hired a group of performing dogs. The year before, he had brought a reptile woman, Helen the herpetologist, the twins' favorite, with bags of snakes, turtles, and lizards. It turned out that I was the entertainment this year. At least that's what it looked like when I walked through the front door. I told you he would be here. I did too. The two P's dropped their presents and threw their little arms around my thighs. Mom was next, then Rolf. I told myself that I wasn't going to cry, but that idea went right out the window as soon as I saw them. As we hugged, everyone sang happy birthday. When everything had settled down a little, Mom pulled me into the kitchen and asked me how I was. I told her I was tired and a little sore. You've lost weight, I guess. She looked at me for a moment, then gave me another hug. I'm glad you're back. Me too. So you didn't make it to the summit. How'd you know that? Josh called this morning, said to tell you happy birthday. That was a first. Where was he? He didn't say. Somewhere up the mountain. The connection wasn't very good. It reminded me of the old days. I bet, I said. I knew I should have called, but I wanted it to be a surprise. It was still a surprise, Mom said. I didn't think you'd get here in time for the birthday, although the two P's insisted I was wrong. Is everything okay here? I mean, is it all right that I came back? Your skyscraper stunt is old news, and Rolf and I are trying to keep it that way. What do you mean, trying? Holly Angelo. Uh-oh. She's been hanging around a lot. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I kind of like her, and the twins are wild about her. Rolf, well, he tolerates her. We've talked her into not writing about your Everest trip. It would just bring up the whole skyscraper thing again, and we don't want to do that, especially now that you're back in town. It's best if we... Rolf opened the kitchen door with an apologetic, worried look on his face. Get ready. Peek! Holly pushed him aside as she assaulted the kitchen wearing a bright pink pantsuit, lime green scarf, and a red purse the size of a suitcase. I let her throw her spidery arms around me and actually hugged her back. It was good to see her. When she finally set me free, she glanced furtively around the kitchen as if she were looking for spies. I heard you didn't make it to the summit, she whispered. I'm sorry. How did you find out? I've talked to Josh several times in the past couple of days. He was being pretty chatty, it seemed. Holly put her red purse on the counter, looked around again, then pulled out a newspaper. This is about to hit the streets. Youngest Person Summits Everest by Holly Angelo. It was a full-page spread with several photos taken from the video I had shot. The biggest photo was of Sunho, Yogi, and Yash sitting next to the summit pole. I think there's a book in this, Holly said. I talked to Sunho today. He said to say hello and to wish you a happy birthday. He also told me he's enjoying the birthday present you gave him, and so are his sisters. I smiled. What did you get him, Holly asked. Nothing much, I said. I'd better go out and mingle. We're going to stop right there. So think about it and write down what gift, I'm going to put gift in quotation marks because it's not a real thing. What gift did Peak give to Sunho? Okay, what did he give to Sunho? What decision did he make that was like a gift to him? Rolf gave me a doubtful look. I said hello to a few people, got a tour of the twins' presence, then noticed Vincent sitting in the corner by himself, gathering grist. I was surprised to see him. We always invited him to the parties, but he rarely showed up. Thanks for coming, I said. I was just about ready to leave when you walked through the door, Vincent said. You've had an interesting few weeks. You read the Moleskine, I said. Yes, and it was well written. Unfortunately, there's only a beginning and a partial middle to the story. Even though you managed to fill the Moleskine, I'm afraid the assignment is incomplete. The story lacks a climax and an end and a denouement. So I cannot... There's a second Moleskine, I said. I'm not sure about the climax, but the story does have an end. Kind of. And I'm right in the middle of the denouement, literally. I pointed at the partygoers. Vincent smiled. Of course. I see your point. How about if I finish it up tomorrow morning? That will be fine. I will be at GSS until noon. School is out for the summer, and the deadline for your assignment has passed. But under the circumstances, I think we can make an exception. He stood up. And again, it's a well-crafted story. You left me hanging. I'm desperate to find out what happened. I'm sitting in my bedroom, finishing the Moleskine. The twins are awake. I hear them giggling and arguing as they eat their mid-morning snack. I promised to take them to GSS with me when I drop off the Moleskine. Here they come, their little feet pattering up the steps. The door opens. What are you doing? You said you'd take us to school. I'm working on my assignment. What's this? Patrice points at the newspaper article about Sunho pinned on my bulletin board. Is that you? Paula asks, pointing at Sunho. No. What are those flags? Prayer flags? What's a prayer flag? There's a prayer written on the flag. When it blows in the wind, the prayer goes up to God. If you put the flag really high on a mountain, the prayer gets to God faster. Looks like that yellow one has a blue mountain on it like the ones you used to draw. Could be. Now sit down on my bed and be quiet so I can finish this. We missed you, Peak. We love you, Peak. I love you too. I'm almost finished. I look at the twins, smiling and writing my last sentence. The only thing you'll find on the summit of Mount Everest is a divine view. The things that really matter in life lie far below. All right, so I want you to think about that. Those last two sentences. Okay? So it's the only thing you'll find on the summit of Mount Everest is a divine view. The things that really matter lie far below. The last question, what does this mean? Okay, you got that sentence. The only thing you'll find on the summit of Mount Everest is a divine view. Okay, and divine means almost a religious experience. Like, oh my gosh, this is the amazing, most spectacular view. But what Peak says is the things that really matter lie far below. What do you think that means? So, that's it. We're done with Peak. I love this book, and I've got good news for you. As of this month, there is a sequel. There's a second book. It's called The Edge by Roland Smith. It just came out. I'm working on getting a copy of it. But what's nice about this new sequel, Oh my gosh. If you read the summary of what the book's about, oh, it sounds so cool. So definitely check it out. I'll let you know as soon as I get my copies of the book. Until next time, we're done. Be awesome.